fight plan is starting to work. He's backing him up. He caught him. He got him with a shot.
Man, Floyd slips shots like he owes the IRS money. And Crawford?
Bottom of their shoes. Nice. That puts him back on his heels. Is Salome hurt? He gonna die.
Man punches like he's trying to put you into early retirement. Here's the take. Mayweather mastered the art of never getting hit, and Crawford mastered the art of making sure you don't survive getting hit. Two kings, two styles, but only one can sit higher all time. Welcome back to Abner's Counterpunch. Let's get this straight. Floyd retired 50-0, untouched, and the richest fighter ever. Crawford, 42-0, 3-division undisputed champ. The first man to do it in the 4-belt era. Both undefeated, both legendary, but in a fantasy prime versus prime, who are you putting your money on? You can't start this whole thing without talking about the offense versus the defense. Floyd's whole career was like playing dodgeball with a ghost. His shoulder roll would essentially turn guys into heavy bags. And Crawford, yes, he is hittable, but that's the trap. He wants you to touch him so he can learn your patterns, your rhythms, download your entire game plan, and then use that to end your night. So the difference is simple. Floyd is untouchable, Bud is unforgiving. Now, which would you rather have? Being impossible to hit or being impossible to survive? Let's not even talk about the fact that both guys can adapt to pretty much anything. Floyd got rocked by Shane Mosley in 2010. He then came back, dominated every round after. Floyd basically said, all right, that's your best. Now here's mine. Good luck.
All right, you got to go over the shoulder. Look where Mayweather's left hand is. Not a good idea against Shane Mosley, who drills him. Came over the top like that. Then he gets hit and buckled there, nearly floored. If we see that later in the fight, he might go down it again. That time Floyd couldn't get off with the right hand. It was there, so he gets caught. According to our score sheet, he can't win the fight.
And for Bud, let's look at Spence. The first 3 rounds kind of just feeling him out, and by round 4, bang, flips the switch. He ends up dropping him 3 times and finishes him by the 9th.
5, 6, 7. There's a big left by Crawford, backing up Spence and digging to the body. Spence is hurt. Spence is hurt.
That kind of adjustment can really only come from the boxers with the highest of boxing IQ levels. So what matters more? Surviving every situation like Floyd, or Bud being able to flip the script no matter what and finishing the show? And hell, just think back. Sometimes Floyd won the fight before they even began. Just look at De La Hoya or even Canelo, walking in kind of nervous, second guessing, tight.
World, the golden boy, Oscar.
Floyd could essentially freeze dudes with aura. But Crawford, he doesn't freeze you, he cooks you. He looks you in the eye mid-fight, smirks, and then you know it's over. That mean streak, it's like sparring the quiet guy at the gym. Then he suddenly decides to ruin your week. Now picture it, both welterweight, both in their primes. Floyd at 147, age 28. Bud at 147, age 33. Floyd's reflexes, untouchable. Crawford's power, criminal. The Floyd supporter in me would say he shut Bud down, pot shot, and then cruised to a decision. But on the other side, the Crawford camp could easily say that he's got the size, the reach, the switch hitting to drag Floyd into places he's never been before. Shane Mosley himself said it. Crawford may be Money Mayweather, but Pretty Boy Floyd, the young offense version, that's a whole different beast.
Who do you think's better out of those two? Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually, he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well.
So yeah, it could depend on which Floyd shows up, the businessman or the assassin. Floyd beat 23 world champions: De La Hoya, Pacquiao, Cotto, Mosley, Marquez, a young Canelo. Almost half his opponents were champs. That resume is like the Avengers roster. Crawford's resume, a little thinner on paper. Spence, Porter, Khan, and then boom, Canelo at 168. But here's the kicker. He became undisputed again in 3 weight divisions. So, do you value a stacked hit list or historic milestones that no one has ever touched before? And let's not ignore impact. Floyd wasn't just a fighter, he was an ATM with gloves. 4 million pay-per-view buys with Pacquiao, a Forbes list regular. He literally turned defense into billions. And Crawford's not flashy, he doesn't do circus promos, but he is taking dangerous fights that Floyd would have made wait 5 years. Spence, Canelo at 168, the type of fights that Floyd might have said, let me sit on it and let it marinate for a bit. The global celebrity versus the fearless greatness. Look, I'll be real, when I first started sparring, I tried to be a mini Floyd Mayweather, try to shoulder roll absolutely everything, but you know what happened? I got clipped anyway, I froze. But then I learned that sometimes the best defense is actually making the other guy scared to open up. That's Crawford's mentality. You touch him and then he makes sure that you don't touch him a second time. Floyd is flawless, but Bud's the guy that makes you question your whole fighting style. So overall, Floyd fights not to lose, and Crawford fought to make damn sure that you don't finish. Now, if they were to fight in a fantasy matchup, I would personally lean Crawford. I think he has the size, the reach, and since he's a switch hitter who utilizes the Philly shell himself, I think he would figure out a way to get around it, corner Floyd into possibly getting a stoppage. However, if we're talking about who has the greater legacy, I think Floyd, without a doubt, probably has the better one. I think he's had a way bigger impact on the sport of boxing. And speaking of destruction, we have to revisit the destruction that Crawford led on Canelo. A guy everyone thought was untouchable suddenly looked average against Crawford. Average, that's like saying a Ferrari handled like a Honda Civic. If you thought Floyd versus Crawford was a debate, wait till you see how Crawford made Canelo look. It hurts my soul to say this, but average. Click here for that video, and while you're at it, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next fight content that we break down. Later.